My name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be one of my Sunday sewing catch-ups and we're on episode 86. I definitely had to look down to check then because I haven't filmed a video for such a long time. Thank you so much to everyone that has bared with me whilst I took an extended break. I was hoping to film a few more videos over the summer. I shared over on Instagram and also on my community tab that I actually ended up having some surgery in the last sort of part of the summer holidays, and it meant that I had a bit more of a recovery than I was expecting. Combine that with just the summer holidays and family, and then also sort of the start back to term. I just haven't had the time, haven't really had the energy, and haven't really had the headspace to be filming videos, but I'm back and I'm really excited to try and get back into sort of filming a few more regular videos. So thank you to everyone that got in touch with me. I've had loads of really lovely, really kind messages on here, on Instagram, and also I've had a few emails as well. I really do appreciate your patience with me whilst I sort of figured lots of different things out and kind of took a little bit of a break, which I needed to. I'm fully recovered now and I have started sewing. In the time that I've been away from YouTube, I've also taken a little bit of a break from Instagram too. I just haven't really had sort of the time or the energy really to put into sharing what I've been doing. And I haven't actually been sewing a huge amount. I think this is the longest period of time since I learnt to sew where I haven't sewn anything. I think it's over 6 weeks now. But I went to the Southern Social yesterday, which is being organised by the lovely Sam, who is Sequin Girly on YouTube and also on Instagram. She's organised this amazing social, and I was able to go along to that yesterday, and I had a really lovely time. It was just great being in a room full of people, talking about sewing, comparing patterns, asking for advice, and just, yeah, chatting about sewing all day. It was really lovely, and it was exactly what I needed to kickstart my sojo. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to share with you relating to that. I have been buying fabric, but not as much as I would usually. I'm trying to be really sensible with my fabric buying choices, and when I share that, I'll talk a little bit more about my approach to buying fabrics. I have got some crochet, because that is the one thing that's really been keeping me going. I had surgery and then I had about 2 weeks, well, it was meant to be a week of bed rest, but it actually ended up being a little bit longer than a week of bed rest. And then I've just had to be really sensible about how much I do and making sure that I really do prioritise sort of resting, which is hard for me because I do like to be busy, but I have really been prioritising like that self-care and just making sure that I slow down as much as I possibly can, which for someone who loves to be busy and likes to have lots and lots of things on the go, that was quite an adjustment for me. But actually in slowing myself down, I think I realised that sort of partway through the summer I'd almost reached kind of like burnout with work and also with like my sewing and crafting and just trying to do everything. So actually that period of rest has come at a really good time, and I do feel really rested now. But crochet has been something that I've absolutely loved doing whilst I've been sitting and watching films or catching up on TV programmes. I asked on Instagram for recommendations of TV shows. So yeah, I've been learning to sort of embrace slowing down. So I've got a little bit of crochet to share with you as well. And crochet is definitely going to be a crafty hobby that works alongside my sewing. And I'm finding that I'm picking up the crochet in the week when I'm busy working and I want to do something in the evenings. And then I'm getting a little bit of time at the weekends to do sewing too. So lots of things to share with you today, but yeah, I just wanted to start by saying a massive thank you for sticking around and for all of your amazing support. I've really appreciated it. So I will, before I dive into all the things that I've been sewing and crafting, I will let you know what I'm wearing. You've probably seen this before if you are a follower for a long time. It's one of my favourite jersey dresses, and it is the Friday Pattern Company Westcliff dress. In this really gorgeous green floral, I don't know what type of jersey this fabric was because I bought it from Rainbow Fabrics, but it feels quite thick and it's got kind of like, hasn't got a sheen to it, but it feels like it's got a sheen to it, if that makes sense. Really comfortable, in my favourite colour, and I love wearing this dress. It's still quite warm in London at the moment, so I have still been wearing my dresses, not needing to put tights on and not necessarily needing to wear a cardigan either. So I'll stand up and show you what it looks like. I've got some green and gold earrings in. I can't remember where I got these from. I think the company I got them from is called Laura Designs. I'll link them down below, but I've talked about them before. But I wear these earrings all the time. They're green and they've got a slight sort of gold speckle in there too. I absolutely love them. So the Westcliff dress is a faux wrap. You can see I've got a vest top underneath, but it's a faux wrap. I've got waist tie, which is fastened almost like a belt. It's got short sleeves, and then I've got the maxi length, which has got like the ruffle at the bottom. Really, really comfortable, and I really love the fit of this dress. So that is what I'm wearing. So I think I'll start with what I have been busy sewing up. So I've got a couple of things. I've got two things that aren't finished, and I've got three things that are finished. So I think I will start with the dress. So I'm going to start with the Sew Over It Sofia dress. Now I shared this, I think, in my last video, which was before I went away on holiday. And I had the fabric and I think I'd cut it out, and I really was hoping that I would have enough time to get it sewn up. And I'm really pleased that I did manage to get it sewn up for my holiday, and I was able to wear it when we went away. So I can put pictures in of me wearing this dress. All the other things that I'm going to share, I don't think I've got pictures of yet. But if I manage to get photos, I will put pictures in. But yeah, this is the Sofia dress, this gorgeous cotton lawn fabric. I think I got this from Hey So Sister. Absolutely beautiful, and I thought it was just a perfect fabric for a holiday dress. So I sewed up the Sofia dress. It's got this gorgeous like sweetheart neckline, and then the version that I went for was the tie detail on the back. It's gonna be really tricky to show you. And then it's got like the elastic in the back skirt. And then I went for the tiered skirt, but this fabric is so busy, you probably can't tell that it's a tiered skirt. But it's got the 3 tiers on the skirt, and this fabric just works so nicely for that pattern. It was a really enjoyable pattern to sew up. On their Instagram page, Sew Over It, I've actually got a little reel that shows you how to tie the Sofia dress when you've got the tie detail at the back, so that you can cover up your bra. So it can be bra friendly, and I've worn it, all of my Sofia dresses that I've sewn up, I have worn with a bra, just following their tutorial to make sure that you can cover your bra. And I had to get help to, I think you can manage to tie it yourself, but I got help. I think my husband helped me because I was just very mindful that I didn't want any of my bra showing. But yeah, I'm really pleased that I managed to get that sewn up, and I was able to take it on holiday, and I wore it out to dinner a couple of times whilst we were away. And the next thing that I've been sewing up is inspired by something that I made before I went away, and that was the Style Arc Norman jumpsuit pattern, which is a pattern that kind of passed me by, but it came in the summer Hey So Sister kind of seasonal. It's not really in a box anymore, you get it in a bag, but a seasonal sewing kind of packet, box, bag. So I got the summer one. I've actually pre-ordered the autumn seasonal box that they do, so I'm really excited about that arriving when they send them out. But yeah, I used some viscose linen that came in a So Haley Jane box years ago to sew up the Style Arc Norman jumpsuit, because I thought it'd be perfect for travelling in, and it really was perfect for travelling in. I've worn it so much since. Like, I've worn it to work, and it is absolutely perfect for work. Super comfortable. It's got pockets, quite a relaxed fit, but it feels really nice to wear. And I've paired it with like sagebrush tops. I've paired it with my Anthea blouses, and I've also paired it just with a simple t-shirt underneath as well. And it's a really, really comfortable jumpsuit. So I'm really thrilled that I did sew up that version before I went. Because like I said, I wore it for my travelling outfit, and it was super comfortable. And then we got a So Haley Jane box. I think it was the August, no it wasn't, yeah, it was the August box, I think. We got this vintage cotton. And it's got a bit of a texture to it, which I'm quite pleased about, because it means that I won't necessarily have to do a great job of ironing it, because it's meant to have that kind of crinkled texture look. When it first arrived, pink is not a colour that I'm drawn to naturally. I'm always drawn to greens and blues. I think they're colours that work really well for my colouring. But pink isn't a colour that I'm naturally drawn to. And it's not a fabric that I would ordinarily have gone into a shop and bought. I'm trying to be really mindful with my fabric choices. I need to buy, I think I've said this so many times that every year I talk about this, but I need to buy some fabrics that are plain so that they can go with a lot of the things that I've been sewing that are patterned. So actually I was really pleased that this fabric was in the July box. August box. I keep saying July, the wrong thing. It was in the August box. So I'm really pleased that this fabric was in the August box. And I have turned it into the Stylark Norman jumpsuit because I loved the first version. I've worn it so much, and I've really seen how versatile something in a plain fabric can be, because I've got loads of lovely t-shirts I've sewn up and jumpers and blouses, but the trouble I have is quite often what I make for the bottom half, so trousers or skirts, is quite busy, and then what I make for the top half is quite busy, so then I find it really difficult to pair the two. So I think the Norman jumpsuit is going to be like my go-to jumpsuit pattern for a plain fabric, so that I can wear some of my jumpers and blouses and t-shirts. So I've used all of the vintage fabric. So I got 2.5 meters of the vintage cotton fabric in the Sir Haley Jane box, and the Norman jumpsuit took up all of the fabric. I had to be really clever with my pattern placement. So if I stand up, I haven't got photos of me wearing this, but I have got photos of me wearing the other jumpsuit I made. I really love the subtle V neckline. It needs a really good press. And you've got the same on the back. You've got this elastic that you stitch in, and it just creates, that elastic just creates a little bit of gathering, and that provides a little bit of shaping in the back. You've got inseam pockets, which I think are a must. And then they are really wide-legged. Now, on the pattern, they tell you to put a facing in. I didn't have enough of this fabric to cut out the facing as well. And what that does is it creates a really deep kind of, it kind of looks like a hem, but it's not, because you attach the facing at the bottom and then you turn it under and then you stitch. I've turned it over twice at the bottom because I didn't have enough of this fabric to cut the facing. And I think that works fine. I've just got a narrower hem on the bottom of the trousers. But like I said, I think that's absolutely fine. I love how wide this jumpsuit is. Makes it really, really comfortable for, like, you know, sitting on the floor and getting up off the floor as well. So I can definitely see myself making quite a few more of this Stylark Norman jumpsuits. Absolutely love this pattern. And I'm really pleased it came in the box, because it's not a pattern that I would have gone and bought if I'd seen it. It was a pattern that I think I'd seen before and thought, I don't really need that. I've got quite a lot of jumpsuits in my stash. But yeah, it's been a great pattern to sew up and a really great pattern to wear as well. The other thing I wanted to share with you, I've just got it hung up here, and this is something I saw, I think I saw it on Pinterest. I go on Pinterest quite often to get nail design ideas. I did go and get my nails done this morning. I've gone for like autumn colours today, and then my daughter's gone for little ghosts, which looks super cute. I'll put a picture in so you can see. Quite often I go on Pinterest to look for, I don't often use it for like outfit inspiration, but I do use it for work if I'm looking for ideas for my classroom. I also use it for ideas for my nails. Sometimes I look for like hairstyles and things, but slowly I've had some kind of fashion things come onto my Pinterest as well. And one of the things that I saw was this gorgeous skirt. I think I actually followed the link to find out how much the skirt was, and it was something like £800 or something. It was a really simple sort of gathered skirt that was white, and then it had all this different coloured rickrack. I'll put a picture in of the original skirt. And that just stuck in my head for ages. I saved it onto one of my boards on Pinterest, and I've wanted to recreate that skirt for ages and ages and ages, and I've finally done it. So the pattern that I went for was the flat-fronted skirt by Alice Irvine, which is a free tutorial. So it's got flat-fronted waistband at the front, and then you've got elastic in the back. And then I just bought loads of rickrack from my local fabric shop in lots of different colours. I just went for all the colours of the rainbow, and you can see. And then I also had a little bit of silver. I think I'd been given that by somebody. And then I also bought some rainbow coloured rickrack, because I just thought that went really nicely. And that's what the front looks like, and that's what the back looks like. It took me ages to clip the rickrack in place and then hold it up to check that I was happy with the placement. There are a little bit of gaps at the side, but I don't think that matters, because all of that gorgeous effect is at the front of the skirt and the back of the skirt. My problem at the moment is trying to work out what top to wear with the skirt, because the skirt is so busy. I have got a few plain white t-shirts, I've got a plain white polo neck, and I've also got a plain white sagebrush top. The trouble with wearing white is I'm quite messy. I drop things down me all the time. So I think if I had a white top and a white skirt, even though you've got that gorgeous rickrack, I just think I'm asking for trouble. So I've been on Vinted and I've ordered a green jumper in this colour so that I can see if that goes, and I've also ordered an orange jumper off Vinted. I've really loved shopping for like second-hand knitwear on Vinted, because I feel like that's something that's missing in my wardrobe too, and I want it to be like cozy and chunky knit, and I can't knit. And although I'm dabbling in crochet, I'm not quick enough to crochet myself a jumper. So I've gone on Vinted and got some second-hand jumpers, and I think that might go really nicely with the skirts. So I'm just going to give it a little try. So I'm really pleased that I've made this skirt. I'm just kind of figuring out the styling of how to wear this and what to wear it with at the moment. But yeah, that's been an idea that's been sitting in my head for absolutely ages. I've got quite a few ideas that I've spotted on Pinterest that I can't wait to kind of try and make happen in real life, and something I'm going to talk about in a few minutes when I finish sharing my sewing. So I went to the Southern Social yesterday and had a really lovely time. I finished the Norman jumpsuit there. It just needed the side seams and the inseams sewing up, and I had to put the elastic in. So that was quite a quick job. And then I took a couple of things with me. I've always got quite a lot of projects on the go, and sometimes I'll go between them. I was talking to somebody yesterday about kind of my approach to sewing. And if I know that I've only got an hour, I might sew up just the skirt of a pattern that I've got cut out and leave sewing up the bodice for when I've got a few more hours. So quite often I find that I'll have bits of patterns kind of sewn up, and you know, I want to give myself pockets of time so that I can finish them. So that was the case yesterday. I knew that I had a couple of jobs to finish on the Norman jumpsuit, and then I also took the skirt part of the Deer and Dome Myosotis, and I've cut it out in this really fun poplin fabric that came in a Hey So Sister seasonal box as well actually, but I didn't want to use it for the pattern that came. This stayed in my stash for a while, and I can just imagine it looking amazing as the Deer and Dome Myosotis. So I took the skirt with me to get sewn up, because I knew that that wouldn't take me too long to get it sewn up. So here it is at the moment. So I just need to do the bodice, and I'm hoping I'll get some time today to sew up the bodice. It's got the pockets in, and then I've got the ruffle on the bottom, and I have hemmed it as well. So all I need to do is sew up the bodice and then attach it to the skirt, and then I think this will work really nicely for the winter, well, autumn winter. It'll just brighten up a gloomy rainy day, or if we've got a cold chilly day, I can layer it up with a jacket or a jumper over the top, and I think that would make a really fun outfit. So that is half, well, probably a quarter finished actually, because there's quite a lot to do in the bodice of the Deer and Dome Myosotis. And then I shared this fabric in one of my recent videos where I was talking about 5 patterns that I want to get sewn up for the autumn. And I talked about wanting to sew up the named Rita shirt dress, and I shared this needle cord that's got embroidered flowers all over it. And lots of people, thank you so much if you commented, were saying that actually this might not work as a Rita because you need a fabric that's quite drapey. So I have got a fabric in mind, and I'm going to get that cut out this afternoon, which I'm very excited about. So instead, I still wanted to turn this into a shirt dress of some sort. So I've used a trusty, tried and tested pattern that one of the recommended fabrics was a needle cord, and it's the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra shirt dress, and I love this pattern. I've sewn it up so many times, and here it is. So it's pretty much constructed. I need to hem it. I need to hem the sleeves, and then I've started putting these gorgeous buttons on that I got from Buffin's Vintage Buttons. Absolutely gorgeous. So I need to finish the buttonholes, because I don't know if you can see there, where I've got the embroidered flower, the buttonhole just didn't want to go in. So I need to finish doing that buttonhole. I've started unpicking it because it completely messed up. And then I've got the other buttonholes done. I need to do the buttonhole at the top, and then I need to insert or sew on the buttons. That's very nearly finished. So I'm hoping to have that finished by next week. But I'm really pleased with how this has turned out so far. I think it works really nicely in that needle cord. One thing to say, and I don't know if it's deliberate, but I don't know if you can see all the flowers are upside down. But when I cut this out, I wanted to make sure that the nap of the needle cord was going down and not up. And if I'd have had the flowers that way round, which I feel is the right way round, the nap would have been going up, and actually I wanted the nap to go down. I felt that that was more comfortable. So it does look like I've got the fabric upside down, but I'm just going to go with it because that was the way that I wanted the needle cord nap to go. I don't think it's going to bother me. But yeah, I thought it was unusual that the flowers are upside down. But I'm really pleased that I have found a use for this gorgeous fabric. I love that colour. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I got loads of compliments yesterday on this beautiful fabric with those gorgeous embroidered flowers. So pretty. This was from Sew Me Sunshine, and I bought it a while ago in their sale. They might still have some left, so if they have, I'll link the fabric down below. This fabric was from Hey Sew Sister, I think I said that. They might still have this in stock as well because they've done quite a few restocks of that fabric. And that was one of Georgie's designs. It's absolutely beautiful. I think that's everything that I had to share with you sewing wise. I'm just going to check my list. Yeah, that's everything that I've been busy sewing. So the next thing I'll go on to is some fabric that I've got. I felt like I was going to have a load of things to talk to you about today, so I have written them down in my notebook and I'm going to try and follow what I've written down. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was some fabric. And the first one, I talked about buying this fabric, but it hadn't arrived, and it has arrived now. It's this gorgeous cotton twill fabric from Hey Sew Sister. I absolutely fell in love with it. It's on like a peachy kind of background, and it's got all these different coloured shapes, and I want to turn this into a jacket. I think I'm going to use the Friday Pattern Company Heather Blazer because it's quite a relaxed fit, and I think this would work really nicely, and I think it would make a really fun jacket as well. So I've definitely got enough of this fabric. I think I've got 3 meters of it to turn it into a blazer. I've just got to work out what lining I'm going to use. I've got a green, I don't know what type of fabric it is. I think it's just a lining fabric, and I might use the green to kind of pop this green colourway. Or I might just go for like a peach lining, just to keep the inside quite muted, because I don't know if I use like a bright colour on the inside, I don't know if it would show through. But yeah, this is definitely going to become a jacket of some sort, and I'm really excited about that. I think that will work really nicely for the autumn, and I think it will provide a nice pop of colour as well. Then I ordered some fabric from Crafty Pie, who has started selling fabrics, absolutely gorgeous selection of fabrics on her website. So she shared, Brogan shared this beautiful, almost like a broderie anglais kind of cotton fabric. It's got this sort of pattern to it. I'm just going to try and open it up so you can see. I feel like it's the wrong season now to start sewing with this, so it might just go in my stash until next summer. But you can see that it's got that broderie anglais kind of pattern to it, where it's got like the flower detail and there's the little holes. I absolutely love this. It feels kind of vintagey in its look with all those dainty little flowers and that kind of off-white background. I bought, I definitely got at least 3 meters, if not more. And what I would like to do with this, and I think this is definitely going to be a project that moves over to next year in the summer, I want to use the, I can't remember the name of the pattern, this one behind me, the pattern that I just fell in love with this summer, the Chalk and Notch Marcel dress. I think this would look absolutely gorgeous as that pattern. So yeah, I'm going to put this away in my stash and save it for next year, because I don't think if I sewed it up now, I definitely wouldn't get anywhere out of it, because the weather is going to start turning very soon. But yeah, I just loved that fabric. And then the lovely Brogan popped in with my beautiful floral vintagey fabric, some double gauze fabric, which was super kind. So thank you, Brogan, for that. And it's a double gauze fabric, which about a year ago, I said that I don't like sewing with double gauze at all. But actually, I've recently really loved sewing with double gauze. This is like a beige colour, and then it's got all these different wiggly lines all over it. I feel like this would work really nicely for like an easy breezy dress for the summer, or I could turn it into a blouse. I think I've got 1.5 meters of it. It is quite wide actually, so maybe it would work really nicely as a blouse. Maybe it would work really nicely as like a cami top and shorts maybe. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to turn it into, but I absolutely love it, and I have really embraced sewing with double gauze over the summer. So have a little think about that. I think the more I talk out loud about this fabric, the more I think it needs to become like a two-piece, like Harrods set, like a little cami top with some kind of relaxed fit shorts. I think that would work really nicely. So I think that might be a fabric that's going to get stashed in my fabric stash, ready for next summer. Two beautiful fabrics. She's got so many gorgeous fabrics on her website, so I'll link it down below if you haven't started shopping with Crafty Pie. But I couldn't resist that vintagey floral fabric as soon as Brogan shared it in her stories. It's beautiful. And then very excitedly, New Craft House had some Liberty jersey fabrics. Now there was one fabric which I absolutely loved, but it sold out super fast. I don't know if they've got any of them left, but they did have a couple of floral jersey fabrics left on their website. I saw this really fun jersey fabric, which is a Liberty print on their website. Have I got it upside down? No, I haven't got it upside down. It's got like, it looks like children's drawings all over it, which I just thought was really fun. And I'm planning to turn this into a t-shirt. I'm not sure which pattern I'm going to use yet. Maybe the Studio Jepson's ladies t-shirt pattern. Can't remember the name of it, or I'll use the Tilly and the Buttons Tabitha t-shirt. But it's such a cute print. I thought it would be perfect for work. I thought the children would love it. It's got some really fun like drawings all over it, like rainbows. There's like ice cream cones. There's robots and monsters. It's just such a really fun fabric, so I couldn't resist getting that. I only got 1 meter of it, but that'll be enough to turn into a t-shirt because it's also quite wide fabric as well. So if they've got any of their Liberty jerseys left, I'll pop a link down below. They've also got some Liberty ripstop fabric, which I was eyeing up, but actually I don't need any ripstop fabric. I don't have a reason to sew with that fabric, so I have resisted. I haven't been buying much fabric recently. These are fabrics that I bought probably about a month ago, or maybe this was like 3 weeks ago. I am having to, or trying to, I am trying to be really mindful of the fabrics that I'm buying, because my stash is quite big, and I talk about this quite a lot, and I do need to start sewing with my stash. So what I've been doing instead is, if I get distracted by a beautiful fabric that I see on Instagram, because it's usually Instagram stories where I spot the beautiful fabrics. Fabric Godmother, in fact, I've had to mute them for a while because there was so many gorgeous fabrics, but I definitely don't need any for a while. So what I've been doing instead is looking at the gorgeous fabric, and I've been doing almost like window shopping, but virtually. So I'll go onto their website, choose a few fabrics, pop it on my basket, and then I leave. So I don't check out. And then I'll go back to it like a week later and think, one, is it still in stock? And if it's not in stock, it wasn't meant to be. And two, if it is still in stock, do I still really want that fabric? And I usually find that I don't really still want that fabric, even though it is a gorgeous fabric. Some fabrics, like this beautiful Liberty, I did just buy that instantly because I know that it's quite rare to get a jersey Liberty, and I know that on the New Craft House generally they do sell out, and I would have been quite sad not to buy this fabric. So yeah, that's my approach at the moment with fabrics. I'm kind of virtually shopping, but then not checking out, and then I go back a little bit later to see if I really do need that fabric. And then the final fabric I've got came in the September So Hilly Jane box, and I absolutely love it. And the reason I'm sharing this fabric is because I definitely know what I'm going to turn it into. It's this gorgeous viscose fabric, and it's got flowers all over. It's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a navy background with sort of purples and pinks and yellow and cream flowers. So beautiful. As soon as I opened the box, I fell in love with this fabric. And I am going to use this fabric to sew up the Rita shirt dress, because I think this has got such a gorgeous amount of drape. I think the fabric will work really nicely for the autumn. And I think I'll definitely get lots and lots of wear out of it. And lots of people messaged me about the Rita shirt dress and said you need a fabric that's got drape. And this has got so much drape, like you can see there, it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm really excited about getting that cut out. I will have some time this afternoon to get that cut out. And maybe next weekend, although we've got a market next weekend, I might get a little bit of time to do a bit of sewing. We'll see. But that is the fabric that I just think is perfect for the Rita shirt dress. and it was destined to be, because it came in the Sew Hayley Jane September box, when I was thinking about what fabric would I use for the Rita shirt dress, and that's one of the patterns I definitely want to sew for the autumn. So that is destined to become that so that fabric is destined to become that pattern, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to giving that pattern a try after such a long time of sort of planning to make it and then not getting around to sewing it up. I think I said that was the last fabric, but actually I've just remembered that I have got this gorgeous ghost print fabric that I got from Stitch and Ink. I bought this in the summer actually, when they first released it. It's such a fun fabric. It's got ghosts all over it, it's got rainbows, it's got flowers. I've got 3 meters of this, and I'm going to turn it into a Deer and Doe Myosotis dress, because I think it'll be really fun for the autumn / Halloween. And if there's enough of this fabric left, then I'm going to turn it into a little skirt for my daughter as well, for Lola. She's the one that got the ghosts on her nails today. But yeah, that's a really fun one. It's just a cotton poplin. It's kind of like an off-white background, kind of looks a little bit cream off camera. But yeah, I thought the ghosts were really fun with the different sunglasses and hats on and things, and the rainbows just add a bit of fun to it too. So on to some patterns. I'm not going to go into great detail about these patterns because I think this video is going to be long, very long already. I've been talking for quite a long time. But yeah, I've got a couple of patterns that I wanted to share with you. The first 2 were patterns that were gifted to me. I haven't got around to sewing them up yet, but I'm very interested to give these patterns a try because they're bag patterns. And before the summer, I enjoyed sewing up the Coco Wow Crafts hazelnut backpack as part of a blog post for Felicity Fabrics. And I've really enjoyed, well, I really enjoyed that process of sewing up that bag. I've sewn up just a little like over the shoulder bag using the By Hand London ruffle bag pattern, which is like a draft it yourself pattern. And these 2 patterns look really interesting. So they're patterns by So Pretty Mindful. And the 2 patterns that I've been sent are the Lillington bag and the Elizabeth bag. So I've just got some information in front of me. I'll put images in of what the bag patterns look like. The Lillington bag pattern has currently got 50% off at the moment, which means it's only £4.25 for the PDF pattern. It's a really lovely sized bag for putting like your phone in, your purse, and just for daily use. And this pattern is aimed at beginners, so a really straightforward pattern for anyone that's wanting to give bag making a try and haven't sewn bags before. The instructions are really clear. There's really clear step-by-step instructions with really clear images as well. So if you're a visual learner, the pattern is laid out brilliantly to support you with that. It's a bag that you can wear over the shoulder, which is what I tend to do. And it's got this really lovely sort of front detail to it as well. It's a really lovely kind of smaller sized handbag, but not too small in the sense that you can still fit a few things in, like your essentials in the bag. So I thought that looked like a really interesting pattern. So I'm definitely going to give the Lillington, it's quite tricky to say, the Lillington bag pattern a try. And then the other bag is the Elizabeth bag, and that's currently £8.50 PDF pattern. This is a slightly larger bag. It's a practical, oh, I forgot to say, the Lillington bag is also fully lined. So the Elizabeth bag is a practical lined bag, which is medium in size, so it's slightly bigger than the Lillington bag, and that's more of like a over the shoulder kind of handbag. It's got this really interesting like crossover, almost crossover pocket detail on the front, which just looks beautiful, and you could use contrasting fabric for that pocket detail. I'll put pictures in so you can see what it looks. The Elizabeth bag is also big enough for a laptop to fit in as well, so that gives you an idea of the size of it. Quite often, So Pretty Mindful are on Sewing Street's channel, showcasing their various bag patterns. They've got loads of different bag patterns. These were just 2 that was very kindly sent, and I'm looking forward to giving both of them a try. I'd be interested to know if anyone has tried these patterns before and how you got on, but I have looked at the instructions and they look really straightforward, so I'm looking forward to giving both of them a try. I think I'll try the Lillington bag first, because I don't know about you, but when I've got a big bag, I end up still ramming it full of lots of different things, even if I don't need all of those things. My bag just ends up being super heavy. Whereas the Lillington bag is quite a nice, concise size, so it looks like I will have to think carefully about what I'm going to put in that bag when I'm using it. And then over the summer, Violet Thread Fields, I think they're called. Yeah, Violet Field Threads had a big sale on. They had their 12-year anniversary sale on. They had massive like discount on all of their patterns. So I went on there and had a look at buying some patterns with Ruby and Lola in mind. I ended up getting 6 different patterns and they cost me about $18. Which I thought was fantastic because loads of their patterns are fairly reasonably priced anyway, but they were reduced down to sort of $2 or $3 at a time. So I enjoyed going on there and finding lots of different patterns. So I'm going to put some pictures in of the patterns that I've got. I haven't tried Violet Field Threads patterns yet. Again, that's a bit of a mouthful, but I'm really looking forward to giving these patterns a try. Lola's already been going through my stash to find various fabrics that she wants me to turn into these patterns. So the first one is the Tatum pattern, which is a knit dolman dress. Then I bought the Tegan pattern, which is a woven raglan dress. I've got the Capri Tween, and the Clover tie knot top and high-low ruffled skirt, and then the Gia, I think it's called, Gia Tween, which is a lounge set, and then the final one that I got was the Reagan, which is an elastic waist dress. So I'm looking forward to giving those a try as well and sewing up a few things for Lola. I think she'll really enjoy me sewing a few things. For Ruby, it will depend on what the fabric's like, because they've got some sensory needs around what the clothes feel like, and also what the style is as well. But Lola, I know, has already been going through my fabric stash, choosing fabrics. So I'm looking forward to getting some things sewn up for them. And then the other thing that I wanted to share before I go on to talking about crochet was some sewing challenges that are coming up. So there's 2 sewing challenges in particular that I wanted to talk about. There's lots of other sewing challenges I know that are out there at the moment, but I've just focused on 2 sewing challenges. The first one is sew long sleeves. So the hashtag is #longsleeves23, and this is being run by Shannon, the Sewing Warehouse, and she's run this challenge before. So the idea is that you make something with long sleeves in the month of October and you post it to Instagram by the 1st of November. It can be any garment, it's just got to have long sleeves. There are some amazing prizes, including an overlocker, which is a fantastic prize. So Shannon is going to be, once everybody's kind of posted and it's got to the end of October, 1st of November, that first week of November, Shannon will be choosing 10 finalists that will be announced in that first week in November. And then people can vote on their favourite. And then from those 10 finalists, the top 3 will get a prize. And one of the prizes, like I said, is an overlocker. And then there will also be 5 random prizes given out as well. And the random prizes vary in what they are. It sounds like a really fun, quite easy challenge to take part in throughout the month of October. And I'm going to be filming a vlog all about patterns that I might consider using that use long sleeves. And my vlog is going to be coming out sort of middle of October. And then the other challenge that's being run throughout the month of October is the Sew Upcycle 23 challenge, which is being hosted by Sew Little Time, so the lovely Karen, and then Notes from a Sewing Room, the lovely Becky. So that starts today, which is the 1st of October, and it's running throughout the month of October. And the idea behind that is we make a garment or a bag for yourself or someone else. And they're asking that we don't make things for pets. You can use tablecloth, curtain, bedspread, a ready-to-wear garment you've got that you don't use anymore, or an unworn or a garment that you've made that you don't reach for time and time again that you want to upcycle. And the idea is that we upcycle that garment and post it to Instagram, and the reveal date is the 31st of October. They're asking that if we want to share sneak peeks of what we're getting up to, you use a separate hashtag, which is hashtag SewUpcycle23WIP, so WIP. And then you post on the 31st of October your finished upcycled garment. And when you do post your upcycled garment, make sure that you also include a photo of what the garment looked like or the product looked like before you used it. So if it's a bedspread, take a photo of the bedspread before you cut it up, and then the finished garment. If you're using something from your wardrobe that you know you don't wear anymore, take a photo of that first, and then the upcycled garment as well. And there's loads of different prizes for that. And then for both of the challenges, you just need to make sure you tag the person that is running the challenge. So for the long sleeves 23 challenge, you need to tag Shannon, who is the Sewing Warehouse. And then for Sew Up Cycle 23, you need to make sure that you tag Karen, who is Sew Little Time, and Becky, who is Notes from the Sewing Room. But they both sound like really fun challenges to be taking part in. Like I said, I've got a video coming out for the Sew Long Sleeves challenge. So I've been thinking really carefully about some patterns that I might sew up. And we're getting into sort of the cozy season, aren't we, when the weather's starting to get a bit cooler in England. So I'm looking forward to maybe sewing up some jumpers, some nice cozy snuggly sort of layering pieces. So that's everything that I wanted to share sort of sewing wise. I've also been busy crocheting, so I thought I would share for the next couple of minutes some of my crochet things. And also, excitingly, Lola has learnt to crochet over the summer too. So we had a really lovely time on holiday where we both sat together and I taught her how to crochet, and then she has just immersed herself in the world of crochet, which has just been so lovely to see. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is my Yes You cardigan, which I talked about. It's all been put together and I've worn it a few times. I shared it on Instagram and I am so thrilled with it. It's a little bit oversized, which is the vibe that I was going for. Next time I already know that I'll make the sleeves shorter. With the cardigan that I've made, I just turn the sleeves up and it'll make for a really, really cozy layering piece. But here it is, and I'm so proud of it. Like the hours that have gone into crocheting all of those granny squares. I'll pop it on. It's not going to go with what I'm wearing, but you'll be able to see what it looks like and what I mean about the sleeves. Like the sleeves are quite sort of oversized. You can see they are quite oversized, but I like that. If I stand up, you'll see it's actually quite long. So my knee is here and it stops sort of mid-thigh. Perfect for like wrapping myself up in this gorgeous cardigan. But I'm thrilled with how it's turned out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colours and I've worn it quite a few times already. Because of the colours that I've used, I am going to have to think really carefully about what I wear with it, because this is quite a bright, colourful cardigan. So I've been wearing it with my dungarees mainly, or if I've got some trousers on, like my Persephone pants, I've been wearing it with those. But I've just been wearing it around the house as well. Not for too long because it does get quite warm. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. It feels like a lovely, warm, snuggly, cozy blanket. And then inspired by that, I've started crocheting some plain granny squares, and I'm going to be using these to sew up, or not sew up, well, you kind of do sew them up actually. Crochet another Yes You cardigan, but I'm just going to be doing it in plain green because I think I would really use a plain green cardigan. I think it would go with so many things that I've got in my wardrobe, including what I'm wearing at the moment. So I'm slowly crocheting some plain green granny squares. And then on holiday, that's where I crocheted most of the granny squares for the Yes You cardigan. And then I also just wanted a break from those granny squares, and I had a go at crocheting some plain green granny squares. And then I also did some rainbow ones, and I didn't follow a pattern for this, I just made it up as I went along, but I've made a little like shoulder bag, or it can go across my body as well. And it's got a little opening at the top, so I can just use that to pop like my phone in and my purse and my sunglasses, and just use that as almost like a little handbag. I prefer it across the body. I made the handle quite long. It will go on my shoulder and it's quite nice, but it hasn't got a fastening at the top. I think I probably could make a little fastening, or I could line it, but I thought that was quite fun. And that's just with a couple of granny squares. It looks the same on both sides. And that was quite enjoyable to just crochet up with the granny squares. And then I've just been learning to do different styles of granny squares. So I've got this one, which I can't remember what style of granny square it is. I think it's quite a blocked kind of granny square. Then I've done granny squares. I just need to weave in the end to make a snood. So I've got 18 of those, and I just need to use those, sew them together to make a snood, which I think will be super cozy for the autumn, winter. Then I have been making sort of floral granny squares. Again, I just need to weave in the ends, and that's for a bag. And then I also have just been following Pigeon's Nest who have the Yes You Cardigan cardigan pattern have just released a few weeks ago like a granny square kind of guide of how to make, I think it's 6 different granny squares. So I've been enjoying just I've been enjoying just working my way through the granny square patterns in that kind of, it's like a mini course that you can follow. I think there are videos, I haven't used the videos yet because I found the instructions really clear. But I made this with a little heart, and that's where I got the pattern for the plain granny square as well. So I'm just really enjoying trying lots of different things with crochet. It's been really, really fun. So I've still got lots of different things on the go with the crochet, but it's really enjoyable just picking it up in the evenings when I'm feeling a bit tired but still feel like I want to do something. And then I did take this on holiday, been working my way through the Realm Designs granny stripe vest. You can see how kind of worn that pattern is. It's all crumpled. So I had the rainbow one. I decided to leave the rainbow one at home. I didn't take that with me because I would have had to take a lot of wool with me, and I was already taking loads of wool. So instead I've been crocheting a green and lilac vest in these 2 different colours. So that's what it looks like at the moment. That's the front, and then that's the back. So I've worked up the front and I've got the little shoulder tabs. So now I need to do the same on the back. So I just need to build that up at the back and do the little shoulder tabs. But yeah, that's nearly finished. I need to go back to it actually and just do a little bit more. But yeah, I've kind of been going between different projects, but really, really definitely enjoying the granny stripe. But really enjoying just immersing myself in a new craft. And then I've also been crocheting my husband a blanket because he's requested that. And then the other exciting thing, like I said, was Lola's been picking up crochet. But the great thing for Lola, or the great thing about Lola and her crochet, is she's not using a pattern. It's quite amazing to watch her actually. She'll kind of go on Pinterest and think, right, I want to make that. She'll have a look at what it looks like and then she'll just do it. And one example are these kind of fingerless mittens that she's crocheted. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. Oh yeah, I can get it on because there's a bit of stretch. So she's crocheted these for herself. She didn't use a pattern at all. She just made it up, and that's what they look like. And then she's done this rib kind of effect for the cuff. Yeah, and she just made it up. I think it's amazing. So she's making me some of these. She's made some for herself. She's made some for her friend, and she's made some for Ruby as well. And then she's also crocheted a book cover. So she's got a little book in there at the moment. And again, she just completely made it up. She just made her own pattern and she's just gone for it. And she's really enjoying challenging herself to kind of just make things up and see where it gets her as well. So yeah, really, really enjoyable. So that's all of the crochet, and I'm just going to continue with the crochet, and Lola will continue as well. We've got loads of different wools that we've been buying and just enjoying, kind of motivating each other to do a little bit of crochet here and there. So the final thing I like to finish with is some of my sewing plans. So I'm going to get the Dear and Don't My Sewed in this fabric finished. I'm going to finish my needle cord Lyra shirt dress. I'd also really like to get this cut out, so the Rita shirt dress, which I'm really excited about. And then the other thing that I have been I've had this idea in the back of my mind, and I wish I could remember who it was that I saw. I think someone shared in their stories some amazing scrap trainers that had been kind of patchwork together, and that has lived in my head for ages. I can't remember who it was that shared it because it was like probably about a year ago, and I've always got these kind of ideas saved where I want to have a go at doing that. And I had a look on the I Can Make Shoes, I think it's called. Is that what they call it? Yeah, I Can Make Shoes, and I've bought the soles for some trainers. This is going to be an ongoing project. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this done in the month of October, but we have got half term in a couple of weeks, so I might be able to. But I've got the soles for the trainers. I'm currently researching what kind of glues and things I need. And I've also bought the pattern from I Can Make Shoes for the trainers, and I'm hoping to use all of my, well, not all of them because I've got tons, but some of my scrap pieces of fabric, and I'm going to quilt them together and hopefully use them to make some trainers. And I've got the pattern, I've got the soles. I just need to look at what glue and things I need, do a little bit more research on how you can structure them together. But that is my idea, and I'm really hoping that I can get what's in my head out and create some scrap trainers. I'm really excited about giving that a try. Let me know if you have made your own shoes, and if there's any top tips that you've got for me, because it's something that's completely brand new to me, but it's something that I'm really excited about giving a try. Then the other thing, I think Lola shared this with me, was somebody had upcycled a pair of old trainers that they had, were sort of still wearable but maybe just a little bit stained, and they crocheted and stuck the crochet onto the front of their trainers, and that has given me an idea too of crocheting some pieces, some pattern pieces, and trying to kind of almost applique them onto an old pair of trainers. So I've got a few ideas with footwear as well, something completely new but something quite exciting to kind of dabble in. So lots and lots of things that I've shared with you today. Well done if you've stayed with me to the end of this video. Thank you, like I said at the beginning, for bearing with me whilst I took a little bit of an extended break. I hope you've really enjoyed hearing what I've been getting up to, seeing some of the fabrics and patterns that I've been buying, and hearing what some of my plans are. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really love it if you could hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified of when I bring out my next video. I have got a video filmed that might come out midweek next week, or I might save it for the following week, but I've definitely got my long sleeves video. I think I'm scheduled for the 12th of October, and I'll be back next weekend with my Sunday Sewing catch-up video as well. What I'm planning to do is slowly work my way through my stash and share it with you, and get your ideas, in the hope that that motivates me to start working my way through my stash. So one of my videos I've filmed, I've pulled out some of my fabrics that I've got in my stash, and I've asked for your suggestions. So I might try and get that edited for next week. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.